Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going into a delightful fondant Christmas tree tutorial. Before we begin, I want to highlight a helpful tool, this digital weighted scale, 0.01 grams to 200 grams, precious mini pocket scale. This device will be our guide in achieving the perfect proportion for our models. Let's start. Turn on the scale, place the fondant on it and adjust until it reaches about 40 grams. Move the scale away. I'm going to need a little bit. An excellent addition to my fondant, I am adding a touch of thyla powder. This special ingredient helps to speeding up the drying process and adding a firmness to fondant. For 40 grams of fondant, I'm adding this amount of thyla powder. I will provide the information about the thyla powder in the description below because one is certified as a halal while the other one is not. Whenever you are adding thyla powder to fondant, be sure to knead it thoroughly. This ensures an even distribution of the powder throughout the fondant and promoting consistent drying and firmness. Take your time to knead it until the thyla powder is fully incorporated. From the Sugar Flare brand, today I plan to use the color mint green. Gradually mix the paste color, adding a small amount at a time. If you are using a liquid color, just be careful not to use too much liquid colors to avoid making the fondant sticky. Ensure thorough kneading until the color is well distributed before you adding more. If your fondant is sticky, lightly dust it with the corn flour. Avoid using icing sugar as it may contribute to the initial drying of your fondant. So what I'm doing here, try to hide cracks in the fondant. You can try smoothing them out with a bit of warmth, applying a little pressure to soften and blended the fondant. Gently rub the cracked area with the fingers. You can see how smooth it is. To bring your fondant into a Christmas tree, start to work with your fondant. Shape the fondant between two hands into a cone shape. You have the flexibility to adjust it higher or lower. For myself, for a 40 grams of fondant, I scale it to 6 centimeter height. Using a sharp pointed scissor, use the tip of the sharp scissor to make precious cuts. Create a clean, defined shape. Ensure your cuts are smooth and controlled. I'll come a little bit closer to the camera then you can see properly. I'm cutting between two cuts, and again make sure use the sharp scissors to make control and even cuts. Pay attention to the spacing and angle of your cuts to achieve the desired effect. For the top of the Christmas tree, make tiny cuts with the tip of the scissor. As you move towards the bottom, gradually increase the size of the cuts, making them slightly bigger than the previous ones. This will simulate a natural tapering effect. Keep the cuts consistent and evenly spaced for a polished look. I'm also gently turn the entire tray between fingers to ensure an even distribution of texture. I'm inserting a toothpick into the bottom of the tree. It helps me to hold and maneuver the tree. So now I can cut until the end. This is sharper tool. I'm going to add any final details to the tray. Give a little extra shape. Avoid touching or handling the fondant while it's drying to prevent any flattening or distortion of the peak points. If it's flattened, try to bring the peak point out. Once you are satisfied with the Christmas tree, allow it to dry. Make sure it's placed in a cool, dry area. I'll see you in my next tutorial. Stay tuned to my channel. Until then, bye from Chef Fatima Shifnoz.